Welcome back to Sports Extra, presented by Toyota. There is so much buzz around the New York Jets since the Aaron Rodgers trade brought the future Hall of Fame quarterback to Florham Park that some forget part of the reason this team became a contender with the addition of Rodgers was because of their staunch defense already in place. From multiple Pro Bowlers to the reigning Defensive Rookie of the Year, the Jets defense also boasts respected veterans, such as defensive tackle Solomon Thomas, our featured guest tonight. The third overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, Thomas is now entering his second season with Gang Green, where he made an indelible impact on the organization on and off the field last season. While May was Mental Health Awareness Month, you'll learn from Solomon's story and message. One must be aware of their mental health every day. As we get to know the more personal side of Solomon Thomas tonight, it's hard not to notice the electric vibe around these Jets, even during voluntary OTAs last week, thanks in part to that new QB who Thomas says has made an immediate impact.
It's just special to have a guy like that in the building. The leadership he brings, all the knowledge he brings, the atmosphere and the energy he brings has been so special. You know, a guy I watched when I was in 5th grade.
Now, did you mention that to him, that you were in 5th grade when you used to watch him?
I don't want to do that to him. I'm not going to come up to him and be like, hey, you know, I was watching you in elementary school. No, I'm not going to make him feel old. He looks great, so, you know, I'm going to let him be.
Now you add Rodgers, a future Hall of Fame quarterback, and the talk is that the Jets are Super Bowl contenders. How does that sit with you, the Super Bowl talk?
Potential is a great thing, but it also doesn't mean anything. So we have a chance, we have the opportunity, but now we have to put in the work and we have to make all the days count.
But in between all of this, you have a purpose off the field, and I know it's bigger than football. And I know the whole month of May has been a lot because it was Mental Health Awareness Month. So I really appreciate you sitting down. But I would like you to tell our audience, as you speak about mental health and suicide prevention, what is your message?
You know, my message to people is that it's okay not to be okay. You know, in this life, you know, you're going to feel anxiety, you're going to be depressed, you're going to feel the ups and downs of life, you know, and that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It doesn't mean you're broken. You know, you're going to get through these hard times. You're going to get through this dark storm that you're stuck in. Like, there's more for you. You're more than your anxiety. You're more than your depression. You're so much more than however you're feeling. You're going to get through these hard times.
And in January of 2018, you lost your older sister, Ella. She died by suicide. When you speak of that darkness and the depression that you experienced after, how did you get out of that?
Yeah, I mean, it took a while, and I didn't do it on my own. You know, I tried to do it on my own. I tried to push through, and that just took me to a deeper, darker place. But, you know, I was very fortunate to get help, you know, and what helped me was my family, you know, my team at the 49ers at the time, my teammates, my loved ones. You know, they pushed me to get help, pushed me to go to therapy, and from that, you know, I saw the light again. You know, I was able to handle my emotions. I was able to cope and find ways to deal with my ups and downs, and you know, find ways to carry my grief with me and to honor my sister and to honor my emotions.
And from that, you developed the Defensive Line Foundation. So tell me more about its purpose and its mission.
My mission is to end the epidemic of youth suicide, especially for young people of color, by transforming the way we connect and communicate over mental health. And we're doing that by we're going into schools, business programs, going into college, collegiate sports programs, and we're teaching people how to have an action plan for mental health.
Positive mental health to me means freedom, being able to think with a clear mind.
After a tough 2 months, my mom asked me if I wanted to still go see that therapist that I talked about seeing, and I was about to say no, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll go see him anyway.
More compassion, you know, in the next generation dealing with mental health. More love, more patience in understanding that mental health is everything.
Now, the NFL has come a long way when it comes to talking about mental health and getting therapy. What are the biggest differences that you've seen in the locker room?
It's been a huge change since I got in the league. You know, in 2017, you know, I had teammates tell me, hey, you can't sit with a team clinician because, you know, people are going to think something's wrong with you. And then now, like, a couple years later, when I'm talking about my sister's story, I have teammates texting me, hey, your sister's story was really impressive. Like, thank you for sharing it. And then years after that, like, you know, guys asking me, hey, how do I get help? How do I get into therapy? or what do you do for your mental health, or how can I bring this conversation home? And like just the conversations there have been such a difference, and now it's an open conversation in the locker room.
And after your first season here with the Jets, you were named their Walter Payton Man of the Year for your work in the community. And in May, you were given the Hometown Hero Award by the United Way at their Gridiron Gala. I was there for that event, and you had so many teammates there supporting you. What did they say to you after you went up there and gave your acceptance speech?
It was just like just hearing their responses about my speech and what I talked about. Even meant more to me. Like them, like a lot of my teammates, not realizing how many people struggle with depression, not realizing that hey, that this is a real problem, that these are things we need to talk about. You know, guys even talk about hey, like thank you for bringing this to light for me. And then hearing their responses and then hearing that they actually listened and they took something out of it, even meant more than them even coming. So I love my teammates. I'm so thankful for them.
Where do you find joy today?
But the things that bring me joy are some of the responses I get from the work I do. People letting me know that, hey, my sister's story helped me, or my story helped them. Just knowing that the work I'm doing, that the life I'm living is making impact, it makes everything worth it. It makes the pain worth it. It makes the ups and downs worth it. It makes the stressful times worth it. But that's what kind of brings me joy and keeps me going in this life.
When it comes to game day, where is Ella in that? Is she, in your mind, or do you think of her, or?
Definitely, almost everything I do in this life is going to be for her. And she was one of my biggest supporters on and off the field. Whether she was talking crap to me to try to get me all pumped up and in the zone, or whether she was just supporting me, saying like, "Sally, let's go, like let's get it going on." Like, she was always there for me. So on game day, I still hear her saying like, "Sally, let's go." I always like look at my tattoo when I think of her, and just certain things I do just to bring her to the front of game day, because she's always with me and she'll always be my biggest fan.
So what is your tattoo?
So it's I have a sunflower. It was our favorite flower.
Oh, me too.
And,
oh my goodness.
I love it. And then our favorite movie was Bad Boys, and Bad Boys 2 particularly. So we always just say we ride together, we die together, Bad Boys for life. So I have Bad Boys for life coming out at the stem, and then I have in her handwriting, I love you. So that's her handwriting, and then on my middle finger I have one of her hearts, because she did her hearts funny, and just like an inside joke with the middle fingers.
What do you do for yourself?
We're in this amazing city. I love going to Broadway shows. Broadway shows are super fun. I was a thespian growing up. Had to quit my freshman year of high school because they made me choose between football and theater. But I love going to Broadway shows with my guy CJ Uzama. We've been there a few.
He just went to Wicked with Aaron Rodgers the other day.
Yeah,
He's all over the place.
Yeah,
What's your favorite play so far?
Right now, okay, overall it's Hamilton, but the ones we've seen recently is MJ the Musical. And Juliet was really, really good. Shucked was hilarious, super fun. And then what else we see? We saw And Juliet, Shucked, MJ the Musical, yeah. So yeah, we're trying to see Sweeney Todd next. So yeah, I heard it's really good and deep.
Close, so I'm glad you got to see that.
Yeah, I know, it was
closing,
so good. So and I hope they extend it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love learning a little bit more about you as a person, Solomon, as well. I appreciate
Thank you for
your message. It's a very important one.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. This was special.